I'm here on this uphill walking log now to talk to you about transcendence. I know it's a big word, but for me it's actually safer or even preciser than altruism, because altruism means neglecting yourself for others. It's a simple act of sacrifice. One bee or wasp, which one is it, that when they sting they die, goes and stings the enemy so that the hive will survive. And that's not necessarily always good. It's always also very debatable and very subjective whether that's a noble thing to do or not, whether it's efficient or not. However, transcendence for me is about living, acting and creating in such a way that it's all greater than yourself. It's all aimed at this higher level of contribution, which sounds a lot like buzzword bingo, I know. But the thing is, crap is really going to hit the fan, isn't it? I mean, we have crises on a regular basis. That's kind of how the world works. We had the recession, and then COVID, and now climate. But climate has been there all along. And even before the recession, we had a lot more. We had wars. We have war again, apparently. And, well, at the time of recording, this is going to come out like 2 weeks later. So, there's always a need for people to go beyond themselves, above and beyond. Not to just live their life and not care about the bigger picture. And I think we are actually equipped for this as individuals and as a species, that we have this instinct, you know, we hold the door open for each other sometimes. We let the elderly or a child go first. And so why is it that some of us have it more or less ingrained in our mind to do everything we do according to this? And unfortunately, I can't really give you the answer, but what I do believe is that no matter what the reason is why that happens naturally to different degrees, is we can all work towards getting to a higher degree. But the first thing is you gotta want it. And I think that's the main problem with most people, is theoretically they think they want it. They're like, yeah, you know, of course, I want a better world. I want to fix the climate problem for our children. But I'll just do my bit by going to work without really realizing how much needs to be done, how much more they could do, how little their work is doing, or maybe even is affecting the situation. And so I think I've basically made it my life's mission, as I put it in one sentence, to foster a world with more creators, more people deeply engaged and involved in making changes that matter. Not just talking about it like I am right now, because I'm stuck in a previous phase of my life and unable to act so freely yet. But you know, at least I'm talking about it. At least I'm trying to get you to move. I'm trying to call to action all my fellow warriors. Because at the end of the day, something that I really like about deep thinkers and brave thinkers is, I think sooner or later a lot of them, or us, realize we're gonna die. Each of us at some point are gonna die, unless medical technology has some impressive breakthrough. But you know, I think most people would probably even choose to die at some point. If you watched Altered Carbon, you have some idea of what can happen if you live too long. So what happens when you die, regardless of spirituality, whether there's a soul or not, whether your personal journey goes on or not, matter of fact is your body's gone, and that's the end of your direct impact and effect on this earth. And so I guess it ultimately comes down to that level of selfishness or selflessness, whether you can be okay with saying what I'm doing is gonna leave enough of an impact behind that when I die I'm okay with this, or if you just decide not to think about it. Because, you know, one of our many mental tricks for trying to find happiness, but which is actually what sabotages happiness, is to ignore difficult truths. A lot of us don't even want to think about the fact that we're going to die. And if you really think about it, and you really think about what is meaningful in this life, what is meaningful in this world, then I think most people come to one of two conclusions. Either you enjoy the hell out of your life in a grateful, appreciative, Buddhistic kind of way, or in a nihilistic, chaotic, high energy kind of way. Or the other option is you decide it's not about you and you have to make a difference and leave something behind. And I also see so many people limit themselves from the people who've decided to make a difference in how much of a difference they're going to make or which area they're going to pick. They think they're not able to help more. They think that's not for them, that someone else is doing it better. And I think we can all do better at unlimiting ourselves and really giving it our all. Those of us who've decided to spend our life that way. Because another trick of our minds is making blurry, unclear decisions. So are you gonna do it or are you not gonna do it? Are you gonna just enjoy your life? Just sacrifice your life? Or are you gonna have a clearly defined mix of the two, as I am? And you have to keep checking in with yourself. What is the ratio? Am I sticking to it? Am I liking it? So I guess what this all comes back to intentional living. And in order to transcend, your intention has to be very clear, of course, and very deeply thought through. You have to really know what are you living for and why and how. I know, much easier said than done. It takes years, maybe even a whole life. I'll let you know as I'll go along. But starting at any time, even if you're in your 90s now, is way better than staying in the matrix and taking the blue pill, isn't it? Whew. Alright. I'll re-listen to this whole ramble, and if there was useful stuff in there, I'll publish it. If you're hearing this, then see the video notes for a breakdown. If you're not hearing this, well, isn't that an interesting situation? Take care and see you in the next one. Peace.